Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the Halcyon Show. My name's Lorne. I'm going to be your host, and I've just discovered there's another fucking streak on this camera. This camera is so dead. It is so dead. As you can see, I'm all business. I am all business today. There is no fun to be had in this podcast. There is no enjoyment. It's going to be cold, clinical, to the point. It's going to be some tough truths, some harsh lessons. We're going to have to reschedule, circle back around with a lot of things. Or, I was running late from work. I didn't really have a chance to get changed when I got in, except for to take my contact lenses out and put my glasses in. Because otherwise, it was going to get on my nerves that, got itchy eyes for the day. So anyways, it's been a minute. How you doing? How are you keeping? How was your Christmas? How was your New Year? Mine was depressing as shit. So much so that I decided to take a break from social media for a really long time, which bled into my YouTube. Interviews are coming. We have one or two penciled in this week, and then a few more scattered in and amongst February. So hopefully you can keep your eyes peeled for that. Plus, we'll be doing some segmentation of some of the interviews we've already done. So you'll hopefully, if you didn't get a chance to see the full interviews, you will get an opportunity to see bits and pieces with guys like Kingsley Thunder, 9-2, Rick Charles, Paris, Enigma, guys like that. So for now, at least, I thought we would take a dip into January of UK Battle Rap, because again, I've been away is a very fucking bold way to put it, but I've not really been paying attention to social media all that much. Just needed a break from it, to be honest. And I see that the timeline hasn't slowed down though. So it's one of those situations. I've actually got 3 streaks. Wow, this camera is so dead. I'm going to put it on my list of things to do tomorrow. Look, you can see the line. There's a purple one. There's a kind of a weird blue one and a white one in the middle. So there you go. I've got to fix that. Anyway, what was I saying? I can see though that having been away and then dive back in for a minute, the timeline is it's not quite down. I suppose the place to start with our topic of conversation today, Battle Rap in January 2025, is the cancellation of Yunnan versus Gemini. Now, I have done a little bit of due diligence on this one and tried to garner a bit more information. I'm not disclosing anything, but what I am going to say is that what I seen the discourse has turned into, I kind of want to talk about, because I know that a lot of people were commenting afterwards concerning the cancellation of numerous battles. That wasn't just in that card, it was throughout 2024. I also understand that a lot of people were getting into the discourse concerning how seriously people take battle rap and all the rest of that sort of stuff. The thing I wanted to talk about was, and this kind of bleeds into the other conversation, because I think it was, oh gosh, I keep calling him Gnarls Barkley. It isn't. It isn't Gnarls Barkley. It is. Give me a second. I feel so terrible. I saw him live. Why am I? Jim Bob Gnarly. There it is. And the discourse concerning the his battle, his sort of gimmick to the camera, and then a lot of people chiming in. I want to come back to something I've said before, and I want to try and fixate on this a little bit more this year, which is battle rap's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a fun distraction. It's supposed to be a fun subculture. It's supposed to be, largely speaking, a source of positivity to people, because we get to exhibit aspects of ourselves in a creative sense that we wouldn't otherwise have the outlet to do. And I would just want to hopefully remind people that even though the spirit of the genre is one of confrontation and aggression and malice, for lack of a better phrase, there has to be, for fuck's sake, you might notice a bit of lagging on this stream as well. I apologize if there is. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it. My laptop is just fucking dead at this point. Anyways, back to the point. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a light distraction from the trials and tribulations of the day. It's not meant to be taken all that seriously until it starts to bleed into the fan experience a little bit, and I mean that by the cancellations. So I'm not necessarily applying this to Yunnan and Gemini with this, but what I am saying though is I know that the card I last went to had a couple of cancellations, or it was rejigged and it was kind of presented in a different way than what it was on the card. I would hope that promoters and battlers understand that, again, what patience a consumer has is going to be tempered by what they have to compete with in the current climate with social media and content in general. So if people are going to take 3, 4, 5, 6 hours out of their day to come and see you perform live, and the card falls apart, or at least it diminishes from the perspective of a fan, you have to understand that that could be the triggering point for someone to then turn their attention to something else that is, even if it's just more consistent, not necessarily better, but it's just more consistent. You might have lost that fan at that point. They tell you constantly when you're doing YouTube that the most important thing is consistency. It's one of the reasons why my channel has failed to grow in a number of different ways, is because I can't be consistent. I think with battle rap promotions, I know that they're caught between a rock and a hard place sometimes, because they don't want to over-egg the pudding and get too ahead of themselves from a promotional aspect, knowing that their cancellations can and will occur. But they're also in the position where if they don't, it's hard to garner fan interest. In the case of Gemini versus Yunnan, I understand that there might be some fan apathy now regarding its rebooking. For me, it has to be rebooked because it's important for Don't Flop's title lineage to have a defending champion and an active champion, especially when you've got Premier Battles sat right there putting on cards on a regular basis to a reasonable quality per card, and their championships are defended with some virility. If Don't Flop don't take an active approach in venerating their own belt, not that they have a belt, sorry, their own title, you can't expect fans to care. It's the reason why I think I put a lot of emphasis on it when I heard that Gemini was going to be battling Bizzo, was because so Mukesh has said Don't Flop retired the title. They're not interested in having a champ right now. That's fine. If they, and again, from a promotional aspect, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I would argue that, again, we're closer to the professional wrestling side of things than we are legitimate sports side of things. So having a champion or a number one or something like that, to be honest, it's always been kind of a, it's kind of been something that we do to humor a certain narrative that's peddled in battle rap. But I would say that it helps build narratives, championships and titles and rankings. It helps build interest in matchups that you wouldn't otherwise want to see or care about. If the title's not venerated and in fact is denigrated, it makes you wonder as a fan, like, why should I care? At which point it becomes a case of well, if I can't care about it from a purely competitive standpoint, and I don't care about it because I don't know any of these battlers, or I'm not that invested in any of these battlers, I'm just speaking as a casual fan right now. Someone that you have to understand that I don't consider myself a casual fan, but I also don't consider myself a hardcore. I'll find reasons to care about a card. If I buy a ticket to an event, I'm going to look into all the battles, I'm going to look into all the battlers, even the ones I don't know, and what's this guy's angle? What's he doing? Da-da-da-da-da. And I think you can't expect a casual fan to do that, because they're asking you to sell to them rather than you buying a ticket and then looking for value in it. I would say that the other thing that's really frustrating to me about the cancellation is, I wanted to talk about this more generally speaking, is that when I've dealt with Don't Flop the company, I'm actually always kind of slightly impressed by some of the things that they've got in place from a company perspective. Like, they will send promotional materials via email to you. They will send a pre-day email to you to do the to do with the locality, what to expect at the event, all that sort of stuff. Like, from a consumer perspective, it's really good. What I find frustrating is the cancellation. They put out the statement, and the trouble is the it's difficult to then make the argument. I get that they've got other battles on the card that, again, I as a fan can find the value in. I'm not thinking about it from my perspective, though. I'm thinking about it from the casual fan's perspective that were maybe on the peripherals of caring about battle rap, who are aware of Gemini and Yunnan, and are sold this idea of this is now going to be the best versus the best. This is the best matchup on the card, therefore we are putting it as a headline. You take that away, it's nothing to say about anybody else on the card, because again, hardcore battle rap fans know that there are quality battles throughout cards. I was at Undisclosed 13, and Bobby Rex versus Gas Buff, I would argue, was the headline. It went on last, and it was the one I was the most excited to see, and I would argue on the day performed the best in terms of the participation and reaction from the audience, and the battlers on stage were really getting into it. But I can't speak for the person that bought the card to see Sean Cray versus Raptor. Maybe they felt shortchanged by the fact that it was jigged around. Maybe they felt like the way it was presented to them was wrong. I don't know. All I can say is that the consistency, I think, is what battle rap needs to focus a little bit more on, which is where Premier Battles come into their own, because one thing you can say about Premier Battles is that they are always consistent in their approach, in the premises of their matchups, in their booking, even in the quality of the performance of a lot of their performers. Obviously, I'm watching more Premier Battles than I am Don't Flop these days. But from what I've seen, again, the presentation, the quality of the presentation, the performers, the battlers themselves, they seem... Sorry, I'm going to read the comments in a second. I'm just read the Hadashrim's. Oh, you are back. Oh, okay. Well, then let me go back. It's like, okay, fair enough. He's surprised. Like, I was expecting it to be a fucking coat on a stick. Like he wasn't going to show up. Some said I wasn't going to show up. And the last time I said I was going to do a live stream, I didn't. Because it just turned out I didn't have much to say. Fucking goddamn alerts. Right. I'm going to come to some of these comments and I'll recover my train of thought. So, Hot Take Hylas is in the building. Hylas, my friend. Everything does, I just think he's more of an idiot. Okay. Hot Take retiring the title. So that is a legitimate, by the way. That wasn't just an apathetic sort of statement from Mukesh. They made a statement to say they're retiring the title. Okay, does someone have the link to that they can DM me? I'm planning on going onto my Twitter at one point and reviewing some of the stuff that's on the timeline, by the way. So if you can send me the link to that, I'll flag that when I go through it, if one would be so kind to do so. And then Hadashrim's, oh, you are back. Let me rewind to the start. Hot Take Artist, he resents his own fans so much. He does stuff just despite them or to spite them, I imagine, is what you're saying there. Is a tricky cat to nail down in terms of how I feel about him these days, because again, I've had some personal dealings with him that colour me a little bit on him. Obviously the social presentation of is a tricky one to nail down, because ultimately, look, he is responsible for your favourite league for some people, and a lot of people give him credit for the success of the league in various ways, and without him it wouldn't exist in its current incarnation or previous ones. So it's tricky. I would say that I don't know if he resents the fans. I think how feels, if I had to put myself in his position and try and adopt his mindset for a second, I think it's hard for anybody who's achieved a certain level of success to find themselves in a regressive position due to reasons that they feel are out of their control. I feel like oftentimes, if you're working really, really hard at something and you're not seeing a commensurate reward, that's very frustrating, and you have a tendency, or at least I do, to take it out on people. The thing with that, though, is I find that you're often asking yourselves the wrong question, or you're applying your energy in a way that's not conducive to a productive outcome. In case, I do remember seeing an interview with him where it was a Don't Flop interview, I think. So it was one of those ones that he approved and he would have had final veto over, where he was very critical of the fans having opinions on certain aspects of battle rap or not adopting some of the tendencies or booking practices that he was employing, and almost making it the fans' fault that Don't Flop as a brand was not as strong as it once was. And again, I'll reiterate this as I've said it in the past. My view is that if people are not buying what you're selling, the solution isn't to yell at people about what a good product it is that you're selling. It's to find a way to sell it to them that they're receptive of, or you need to change what you're selling. I think the thing that, again, I will give Premier Battles credit for is that a couple of their projects this year have largely made some of my content kind of pointless, because there's no need for me to go and do live streams and do general commentaries on the scene, when if you've got the Patreon, I don't know if you have, if you haven't, you should probably go and check this out. Shotty Horror, Koj, Briggsy, and Bizzo, don't know if there was someone else on this one, but they did a podcast not too long ago. I think it was like an hour and a half, where they discussed Premier Battles, some of the most recent events, some of the most recent happenings on. That's one of the things I was pushing for. Another thing that they looked at was this idea of trying to embrace feedback from the fans in a different way. Now, whether or not they'll do something ultimately productive with that is entirely up to them. They'll need to decide if the juice is worth that squeeze. But from my perspective, it did me the world of good, because it made me feel that even though I would imagine they probably wouldn't give me credit to say it was Lorne's haggling and his constant bitching and moaning that made us decide to fucking do something, I would like to think that it was them listening to the fans more generally that they decided, right, well, let's maybe try and hear some of the more productive elements of this and see if we can apply it. With I don't know if he asked himself that question. I would love to ask him that at some point, if I ever get the opportunity to sit down and have a cordial conversation with the man, to say, from a business perspective, how do you broach some of these things that maybe you feel you don't want to? I don't know. Tricky. I think it's too simple to say he resents his own fans. I think it's more a case that he, if anything, again, I can't speak for him, I'm just trying to suppose for a second. I would say he is probably just not particularly pleased that all of the work that's led him to this point is not commensurate to the amount of reward that he feels he should have received because of, and then you can fill in your own blanks from there, because I know I feel that way. If I look at my channel, I resent the fact that I'm not at 1 million subscribers. But again, that's the point, is I can't resent people for not subscribing to it. They don't like what I'm selling, or they don't like how I'm selling it. It's up to me to think about that and then decide if I want to do anything with it, or if I want to carry on the same course and just accept the outcome. I just need to check, actually. Bear with me 1 second, fans. Fans? Folks. Sorry. Fans. That's hilarious. There we are. Sorry. I just need to make sure my phone doesn't go off while we're talking. What's that? Oh, good lad. Sorry. Buddy of mine's playing Knights of the Old Republic 2 again. Good lad. Good lad. Ace game. If you never played Knights of the Old Republic, great game. Knights of the Republic 2, fantastic game, except for it's half finished. So just know that going in. Anyways, back to Battle Rap. So, Hylas, I'm not saying that the sentiment that you're presenting, and Hylas is, and with that, Hylas bounces. All right, peace out, Hylas. Take care of yourself, mate. I'm not saying the points he's making in terms of how they feel are wrong. I would maybe say that from Ur's perspective, I don't know if he strikes me as quite a proud person and quite a egotistical person, and that's always going to cause problems when you're trying to be receptive to criticism. That's just my take. It's, again, I'd love to hear his thoughts about that. And that's the beautiful thing at the moment with Battle Rap, is that there are a couple of different avenues of which you can use to explore or kind of express yourself to that effect. But anyways, I want to come back to the point. From the perspective of a fan who saw Gemini versus Yunnan was cancelled and was really excited about it and was looking forward to a title match as a Don't Flop fan, as a Gemini fan, as a Yunnan fan, what I would hope is that the promotion, at least in the next few days, because I believe it's not a million miles away. I think, where is it? Inexhibitable, whatever. Which, by the way, I get it. I think, though, it's, again, in Battle Rap, they have it's a stretch, isn't it? Or is it, yeah, they're stretching it out or something like that. I feel like that's a stretch for a marketing perspective, but what do I know? I'm just a fan, folks. I'm just here, just trying to turn negatives into a positives, and I will turn a negative into a positive with a second, because there was another thing I wanted to talk about as far as that promotional cycle is concerned. Don't miss out, 5 days. Oh, it's February 1st. Right, so it's this Saturday. There you go. And I do know that there's a short circuit event on Sunday afterwards. So again, here's where I turn the negatives into positives, folks. From a battle rap perspective, we are back. We're into the year now. So you've got the first main big Don't Flop event of the year, followed very swiftly by a Premier Battles event. Back to back. Lovely. And both in London. So if you're a battle rap fan in London, you're going to be really well catered for. The Gulag is in the house. How are we doing, sir? Am I going down to Don't Flop? I'm afraid not. No. So the reason I was almost late today, and the reason I'm dressed in this, is work has kind of taken over my life for the short term. The interviews are probably all you're going to get out of me for the short term, guys. So I hope you'll enjoy those. I hope they're good. Besides, again, Don't Flop event is going to hopefully still do gangbusters. I hope it still sells out. I hope everyone has a fantastic time. We'll preview the card in a second as well, because there was a couple of battles on it that I was really looking forward to. I'm also excited to see the protocol for No Lose Chat. They're back. That's going to be coming up soon as well. I think that's in March. I'll double check in a second. And then, of course, like I say, you've got the short circuit event, which is always where Prem tries to showcase some of their newer, more promising talent, give them an opportunity to sort of get their foot on the ladder, as it were. So I'll tell you what, so Gulag, are you going? TMR, are you going? That's the question. And again, I'm not being funny, but it is things like that tickle me. So I see here that Cammy gets a retweet for his preview of events. I have to buy a ticket, I have to be there, and I have to help out at the event, and will give me 2 minutes of his time. So, yeah. I'm not siding with Hylas in the sense of I don't think hates his fans. I do think he hates me, though. So that's fine. It's fine. Everyone hates me. It's all good. What I was going to say was I did love one thing that Don't Flop did that I really should highlight and say, do you know what? Fair play. Is the 16 bar challenge from Don't Flop. The inexhibitable. Because it was awesome seeing everyone turn up. Everyone was showcasing their shit. Everyone was getting retweets and likes and shares and just great. Fantastic stuff. Dojo got in on it. Let's cycle back through. Let's do a proper time frame of this, shall we? So yeah. And Tony D's one. If you haven't seen Tony D's 16 bars, Jesus Christ, man. And the guy's talking about retiring. Tony, dude, why? I know you have other things to do, and I know you have very little energy these days comparative to when you were a younger man. You still have more energy than most of us, and you're still better at it than 99.99999% of us, okay? So just bear that in mind, okay? Tony, my friend, you are still a fucking legend in this industry, and you still have a tremendous amount to offer. Someone's saying he should go on a like a Cena-style farewell tour, and my only problem with that is the idea of it being a farewell tour. I will take him battling every month, but not if at the end of the year he's done for life. Just, no, not having that. So, Tony, my friend, absolutely magnificent work on your 16 bar challenge. You can't see it. It's just light. Where is it? Come on. Tony, your camera is so saturated that it won't show it. It just shows it as light. Unbelievable. Take my word for it. That's Tony. Who else did we get? Black T, Dojo, Shawnee B, we got XQZ, we've got Jack the Act. I am not familiar with his work. We've got the Abbott BR, we've got Jim Bob and Pagan, and there's others. Oh, and I know Paris did one as well. So, by the way, go check all those out, man. We often criticize battlers. I know I've been guilty of saying, hey, listen, guys, you need to promote your events. You need to get more involved. Fair play, man. Everyone was getting involved on that. That was great. That's awesome stuff. Love it. Showcase your skills. Showcase it in a fun way, shareable way, viral way. Love it. Great stuff. Fantastic. So, shall we? Let's preview that card, seeing as it's the weekend, shall we? Boom, 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 boom. It's also worth pointing out, I'm still not battling, by the way. That's an emphatic never gonna happen. So, people who were asking a few weeks ago, yeah, it's not. I haven't been away because I've been practicing or getting rounds in. I'm not battling. Just deal with it. Make your fucking peace with it. Right. Oh, and there's Frankie Fraser was in there as well. Good lad. So bummed I couldn't get that interview over the line. Never mind. Where's the fucking card? God damn it. Where is it? I will save that for later because that's hilarious. Tony D, by the way. Not going to lie, I don't think I could beat Sean Cray over 3 rounds. The character he portrays seems really difficult to get the better of. Pretty sure I can't do it. Can you imagine that? Battle of the Tottenham fans. I'd be kind of for that. That'd be kind of fun. Sean Cray versus Coffee Brown. Cool. Right. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, Marlowe's promo for Anderson Burris, his battle on that card. Yeah. He's... Oh, God, Marlowe's funny. Fuck, he's such a funny fucker. He's so goddamn funny. Oh, God. January 31st on the docks. Huh? Okay. Okay, there's a second card that I wasn't... Okay, fair enough. Innuendo versus Joy France. Lefty versus Blux. Zayn Azari versus Hulk. Sam Essay versus Richie Rich. Scotty versus Jack in the Watt. Very good. Obviously Lefty. Lefty's kind of a low-key entertaining dude these days. I've never been a massive fan of Lefty's style because it's so understated and he's so averse to any kind of showmanship. And then he turned up to Checkpoint 5 with his own deck and completely went 180 degrees the opposite direction. Fair play to him. And Joy France, met her in Manchester. Seems like a really lovely lady. I'm rooting for her. Zayn Azari, I remember from back in the day. I haven't seen him battle for a real long time. So, be interesting to see him back. Right. Come on, man. Where's this fucking card? Right. Is that it? Right. I think this is it. Right. I think this is even the revised one as well. Yeah. So, Crow versus RX. That's interesting. Okay. Last battle of Crow I remember seeing was against Tech. And I think I had Crow winning that one. But RX Southside has been on a bit of a tear. So that'd be an interesting one. Lazy versus XQZ. I need to see Lazy kick it up. The last couple of battles I've seen of him are good. I feel like his work over the course of a round, I'd want to see him start to structure it to crescendo a little bit more. Because I feel like he's got a lot of style, a lot of creativity. But I think it peaks at the wrong time in the round for me to give him all of the points and all of the kudos. Sean Cray versus Corey. Again, Sean Cray is on kind of a tear at the moment. His sort of Cockney character, geezer type gimmick seems to absolutely kill in the room, and it seems to kill on camera as well. So yeah, sky's the limit. Marlowe versus Anderson Burris is great. Battle of the promos, that's fucking awesome. And again, two guys whose styles are absolutely fantastic on camera as well, but both showmen in the room, so that's great. Scoop versus Big K. I know that Scoop's return is a big one for a lot of people. I think I've only ever seen one battle of Scoop, though. I think that was his battle against Frankie Fraser, if I'm remembering correctly. So you guys are probably more excited about that one for me. Gemini versus Unanimous is cancelled. And then the one I previewed, Quill versus Arsenal. Personally, that would be the one I would maybe be most excited about on that card anyway. So maybe that's the one they can bump into the headliner slot. And it doesn't matter so much because people are just going to be excited to see Arsenal because he's a massive name in America and obviously has such an indelible mark on the UK battle rap scene with Shotty and others. So there you go. Tickets are probably still available. £16 advance via don'tfloptickets.com on February the 1st, 2025. I don't know what time. You're going to have to do that part of the legwork yourself. So with that out of the way, let's take a quick look at Short Circuit. What else we got? Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm not going to start trouble, but wow. If you're on the Don't Flop Twitter timeline and you know why I was pissing and moaning a lot last year, there's a post here that will make you understand why I went wow just then, because fucking hell, it took them long enough. But again, I'm not going to moan. They fucking did what I said. It's an indirect thing, I suppose, but I got what I wanted in the end. So that's all that fucking matters. Right, Short Circuit. So, what do we got? Ah, right, wow. Whoa. Big card. 12 till 6, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fucking battles to get through. Jesus. I hope you're not planning on many beer breaks. Fuck me, that's a lot on one card in 6 hours, lads. All right, fair enough. I imagine, though, that those... there's 8, I guess. Academy... What does that say? Academy 25 South qualifiers. So... I presume they're going to be around each, or they're going to be like 30 seconds around rather than full 90 seconds or whatever. So look, Lord Benter's going in there. Shawnee B's going in there. So look. There's not really anyone else I'm familiar with in that crop. All the more reason to get excited, because you never know who's going to be coming through. But then on the main card, you've got Black T versus Dojo. That could be pretty fucking good. Tongue Twister versus Red Wolf. Let's go, Red Wolf. Go get it. My boy Dub T versus Craig. Is it Craig? Or Craigie? Or Craig G? I don't know. How's it pronounced? Come on, Dub T. This is where you need to kick on, fella. Come on, build. And Dazzy Talks versus Gorilla. Don't know about Gorilla. Know about Dazzy Talks because of his battle with Dub T. So, pretty good. I don't know if I'm ready to pick winners on that, although it is this Sunday, so I suppose. Fuck it, let's go then. So, Dazzy Talks, I'll take Dub T, I'll take Red Wolf, and I'll take Black T versus Dojo. Tricky. Probably on form Dojo. I know Black T's a handful, but Dojo had a really, really good 2024. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Dojo on that one. And then... final, not last but not least, no loose chat. There we are. Protocol 5. I don't know if the full card has been announced for this yet. I don't believe it has. Maybe I'm wrong. I know they've announced a couple. The one I'm excited about is Gas Buff, because he was, what did he say? He said something like, what did he say? Like, oh, there's no more. Where is he? Oh, God, what did he say? I'm going to do it a disservice if I can't find it. I have to find it. And oh, God, Gasbuff tweets a lot. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, come on, please, God, let me find it. It was great. What was it? Ah, there we go. I wasn't joking. 2025, I kill your favourites. You tell them, Gast. You fucking tell them, lad. Go on. I kill your favourites. I'm getting scalped worse than Oasis tickets. If he's not careful, I'm going to have to start doing an impression of Gus. Because that was my idea the other day that prompted me to want to do a live stream. I was thinking to myself, do you know what would be fun? Doing an impersonations stream of just impressions. Not like doing full rounds like they do in the battles. But just like our best impression of battlers. Because it's just fun. Like I do impressions of battlers all the time because I get texts and DMs or I read tweets and I read them in the voice and I just can't help but not make inflections. So, yeah, call me sad. But there you go. Craigie or Craigie. I need to figure out how that's pronounced. Versus Gas Buff is fucking sick. That's cool. And what was the other one? There was definitely one other one. Oh, it was Frost and... Oh, gosh. There it is. Frost versus TKE. So there you go. When is the protocol, though? That's the next question I have. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. It's just got to take... no, there's the poster. It is... That's in March. Okay. Fiddler's Elbow. Okay. All right. I might be able to make that. I ain't never been to a No Loose Chat event before. And I can never find enough excuses to see Gas Buff perform. So, okay. That's 2 battles you've announced. You've got to give me a little more to work with on the protocol. No Loose Chat. Give me a little bit more. Just give me a little bit more sizzle on this steak. And I will be convinced to put money down to attend. And sully your event with my presence. But there you go. So that's that. So that's your 3 main cards over the course of the next few... Well, I guess month. What else? Anything anyone else wants to talk about? Because I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. TMR is going to be at Don't Flop. Okay. Ah, shit. It would have been nice to meet you in person, fella. Sorry I can't be there. Yeah, February was always... By the way, February was always going to be... Just BT dubs, I was completely on my own at my company over Christmas. Like, and I mean on my own. Doing the job of 3 people by myself for the entirety of the Christmas period. I had Christmas Day and I had Boxing Day off. That's it. So I've been pretty fucking rammed to the rafters ever since. Hence why you've not really seen me on anything, because I really haven't had time or energy. But Don't Flop is going to be there at the weekend and then Short Circuit the Sunday. So is everyone going? Is everyone excited for it? Who's excited for what? Let me know. Hot take. Doesn't take this long to fucking tuck in kids. Come on now. Expect you to be back. Adding into the comments section. The only thing I was going to say, I was going to talk about on this one, just because I want to throw it out there, because it's just a feeling I have. As far as Spaces is concerned, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be on them going forward. Not because, well, historically anyway, they've not ended well for me when I speak. So there's that. It's more, I don't know about anyone else. I don't really find them that... I don't get them. I don't really see the point. Gas Buff, again, to pick up on the lad, he at least tries to work a gimmick into it. He tries to make it about something. I think the Spaces really, if we're all being honest for ourselves, are just for the battlers and the promoters to kind of get together and have a chat in a public forum, which is fine. Although as a fan, I just don't find a lot of what they discuss all that interesting or insightful or compelling towards putting money down for anything that I wasn't already willing to put money down for. So I find myself questioning, like, what's the point of it? Does it actually do anything for me? And if it doesn't do anything for me, I'm going to try and be better at just not getting invested or involved in shit that I don't care about this year. I genuinely want to try and focus more on the positives and try and put more positivity back out there than fucking just constantly bitching about stuff. With the Spaces, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a fan and you get something out of the Spaces, then more power to you. And to be honest, I'd love to hear what it is. Like, what do you feel brings you some sort of gratiation from being in a space with the battlers or with the promoters or anything like that? It's just, from my perspective, nothing ever really gets broached there. No news is broken. No announcements are made. There's no content to speak of. It's mates talking amongst mates, so it's a lot of in stuff that you struggle to follow. Again, if you're a casual fan, especially if you're a casual fan. And I wanted to throw that out there because I've been on them in the past, and I think I got invited to a couple recently. And I tuned in for a bit, but I zone out pretty quick. because I just don't find them all that interesting. I imagine it's the same for them watching something like this. It's like, well, why would I listen to fans, or why would I listen to a guy who's a fan? Perfectly reasonable criticism and argument to make. You know, you're not, you know, what is that? Oh, it's a thing. Okay. Sorry, I thought I saw it. Hang on. There's a thing right there. And I was like, is someone tying a fucking noose to fucking end me with? But it's not. It's the shadow from my fucking handle that I never see. Anyways, yeah, sorry. I felt shadow, and I felt like my end was imminent. Anyway, my point is that, yeah, I just don't find them all that interesting these days. I have to be honest with you. I wonder how everyone else feels about it. Yeah, I'm just not interested in the spaces. I must be brutally honest with you. The face-offs are a little different. TMR is an example of someone that's trying to bring the promotional energy of what I think a space was originally envisaged for in a very presentable format, and he works really hard to clip it up and present it in various ways to make it very easy to digest. Fully appreciate that. Gast is trying to devise Ethernet events and his own YouTube channel where he's got now the character that he utilizes. I forget exactly what the name for that is. There's a name for that computer generated character that he uses that has the sort of marionette mouth. But as far as, and this is something Premier, Battles, and Don't Flop are both guilty of. Yeah, the spaces are boring. I can't really think of anything that I would argue was broken in a space, that happened in a space that was all that helpful or useful or interesting or fun, that wasn't predicated on something that Gasbuff or others could have done themselves. Just me. So if you don't see me in spaces, it's not because I don't care about the events that they're talking about or the battlers that they're talking about. It's just that the content itself isn't all that interesting to me. I need to garner something from my stuff that I watch. I watch a lot of analysis, breakdowns, a lot of technical expertise, people opining who are experts on things, or who are breaking news and breaking down the news of whatever it is I'm following, because at least you're getting something from it. If I want to hang out with a bunch of people talking about stuff that they think is funny or cool, I'll stand at a fucking bus stop, because it ultimately amounts to the same thing. It just doesn't fucking buzz me as a fan. You know what I mean? I'd be interested to hear what other people hear about it, or think about it, sorry. Because I guess my rationale is that if you're going to do something like that and it isn't really for fans, that's what WhatsApp group chat's for. If it's for fans, if it's for the public, or someone that is on the fence about buying a ticket, well, then you need to think about what they might want to listen to. I think, again, to Premier Battle's credit in particular, again, their Patreon is trying to address some of that. I think that some of the content that they're putting on there isn't for YouTube, because to a casual audience, they're not all that interested. But to a hardcore audience that do want to see, like, there's not many people that wouldn't watch content produced about battle rap that includes shotty horror. I feel like he's become pretty synonymous with sort of a big deal in battle rap. It's the same with Lunacy. It's the same with a number of different battlers who just have a name that is so synonymously affiliated with battle rap, but they're very sporadic in their appearance on it, that when they appear, it's, oh wow, it's a big deal. Like, fair enough, putting that on the Patreon. I think if I was in their position, I would do what the 16 bar challenge is kind of designed to do. It's a bit of fun. It's quite light. It's quite simple. Just do something like that once a week, or do something like that once in the lead up to an event. Piggyback off it in the weeks leading up to it. You know, introduce people to the fun side of battle rap again. Use it as an excuse to showcase and highlight people that don't have name value yet, or have very little name value. And I think I would rather see people put their energies into that rather than a 3-hour space, if the space is ultimately supposed to be there to help people get to know battlers or the promoters, or be involved in something that they're interested in. If the idea is that the space isn't designed for fans, it is more for the battlers and the promoters, that is probably more evidence of why I don't find it all that interesting. Because sort of, if it's conversation between friends, my argument would be, well, why would I be interested? You know, I'm not part of that conversation. Maybe you feel like you're on the insular nature of battle rap, if that's the case, in which case more power to you. I'd love to hear what people think. You've all gone quiet. Why have you gone quiet? It's not just about me. I'm talking, but I want to hear what you guys think. The only thing I've got to work with here is that TMR is going to Don't Flop at the weekend, so fair play to you. And Hadda Shrooms thinks Knights of the Republic 1 is so good. He is right. I think I named Knights of the Republic one of my top 5 games of all time. Because it's good. One of the greatest video game twists, by the way. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you're a video game fan and you love Star Wars, and you need a good story in your life that doesn't involve the fucking Skywalkers, then you need to fucking play Knights of the Republic. If they ever do... What can you do? I think TMR is asking, what can the media do more in 2025? I think. Is that what you're saying, TMR? In which case, dude, you are infinitely more qualified to speak on that than me. TMR, in fact, fuck it, let's pull up TMR's channel. If you're not aware of TMR, showcasing a lot of battle rap across the world, as well as rap in general, but then turned his attention to UK battle rap a little while ago. See, look, 3,500 subscribers. Who am I to tell you anything, TMR? You tell me. You're the one who knows what he's doing. I am the humble, bumbling sidekick in this situation. I know nothing. Look, streaming 2 days ago, 9 days ago. Premieres. He's got premieres lined up out the wazoo 2 weeks ago. Did an interview. Fucking hell. Bang, bang, bang. TMR's killing it. Well in there, lad. You do need to let me do your thumbnails, though. I will say this to every battle rap promoter, every battle rap content creator. You need to let me do your thumbnails, because I will say one thing about battle rap, that I'm better than anyone else. I make the best fucking thumbnails. No one can fucking touch me. None of you fuckers can touch me when it comes to making thumbnails. I am the best. The best. Bar none. Not hearing an argument. It's not a debate. It's not a battle. I am the best thumbnail maker in UK fucking battle rap. Period. So you gotta let me make your thumbnail for you. But yeah, no, TMR, man. Fucking killing it. Absolutely fantastic. Good. Good. I'm glad you're going to hit me up for a thumbnail. The question, though. This is probably a question more for the chat. Because I don't know is the answer, TMR. I think whatever... I'm not coming to the protocol much. I promised Paris that I would go to a No Loose Chat event. I'll think about it. If it's in London, it's only 60, 70, 80 miles away from my house, I think, at last check. I can't remember exactly. But it's like, fuck, I could walk there, dude. So, alright. Who else is going? Is anyone else going to the protocol in March? Come on, hands up. If you've never been to hands up if you've never been to a No Loose Chat event before. By the way, if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always just use the little... Look at that. Look at this little button right here. Use the emotes, man. Look. Oh, does that not... Oh. Is that it? Oh, I thought it let you send it up the chain. Oh, bummer. All right, whatever. What was I saying? And how do I... Oh, no. How do I get rid of that now? TMR, look what you've done! Now I've got all these stupid fucking emotes looking me in the face. Please don't, God. Oh, no. What have I done? Have I alerted all of you to the fact that there are these stupid fucking cartoon character emotes in the fucking thing at the bottom? Oh, man. Yeah, this one... Yeah, that one's adequate. Yeah, there you go. Because now I have alerted everyone to the fact that they don't have to comment. They can just fucking put stupid-ass, dumb-ass pictures. Oh, you can't see them. Hallelujah! Fantastic. Doesn't have to ruin the chat. You stay comment. I don't want to see fucking emotes or stupid things. I just want to see comments. Who's going to the protocol in March? You should go to the protocol in March. It'd be worth your while. Go to the protocol in March. I'm looking forward to it. I need to lose some weight first. I daren't be seen in public when my ass is this fucking fat. But I'll think about it. Okay? That's the best I can do for now. I will think about it. I hope this is acceptable to you, TMR. I feel like there was another one I was going to send. God, no, I'm not going to find it. I will answer both of TMR's questions now then. So, what can media do more of? I think have more fun. I think where the media, especially me, is concerned is I've fixated a lot of the negativity. And I don't think battle rap's big enough to worry about the negativity so much these days. People kind of know where the shit is and who's bad and who's good. I think what we need to do is we need to fixate and focus on the positives. Really get excited about the positives. But not blindly, obviously. But like... And champion people. Like... I really do think that platforms can do wonders for getting battlers into positions where people can get excited. Like, TMR and me can lay claim to hyping a battle that prior no one cared about, which was 9-2 versus Rick Charles. Like, it became, unironically, a battle people were like, I kind of wonder how this is going to go now. Like, I'm really quite proud of TMR for doing that and accomplishing that. I'm glad that I had some small hand in that. But I think inadvertently we stumbled onto something which is what we should have been doing the whole time. Just kind of having fun and being the conduits for that fun. And I think to answer your second question, what can battlers do more? I think the same. I think work on things and showcase yourself in fun ways that fans can enjoy so that they feel compelled to support you and see you live and want to show their appreciation to you, like I feel like I have to when I see Gas Buff or Reverse or Kingsley Thunder or Dub or fucking Bobby or Bizzo or any number of people who I'm now fans of, because I think what they do is a lot of fun. So I know that's kind of a broad answer. I think Cammy already does that. He focuses on the things that make him happiest and give him the most joy. TMR, I think now that you're watching, I think you're doing the same. I think you tend to have a lot of fun with what you do, and I think that's part of the reason why people gravitate towards you, is because they know you're having fun with it and you're showcasing it in a way that people find quite levitous. It's not all drama. I'm not saying that drama doesn't have a place in battle rap. It's fucking battle rap. But I think after my 2024 and being embroiled in drama, because battle rap has this tendency to suck people into drama sometimes, I should have perhaps been more receptive to the possibility that if it wasn't fun, I shouldn't have been doing it. And so I'm kind of resolving to do more of that in 2025. I'll read this, because I want you to see me when I say this. TMR podcast, The Gulag. Do you think there is a lot of drama in UK battle rap? I don't think, TMR. I don't think there is. Oh, man. Is there a lot of drama in UK battle rap? Yeah. Yeah. Too much. Okay. If you want two examples of people who I think do battle rap about as well as it's possible to do it, is Shuffle T and Gas Buff. And the reason that I think that they do those two are the ones that do it the best. Not that they're the best performers, but I think that they do more good overall for themselves and for the scene than almost anyone else. Is that they don't take themselves too seriously, but they do take the craft of battle rap seriously, in so much as the social media is there as a tool and as a toy, as something to use for fun. It isn't a medium to garner social media clicks. They don't engage in hostility with other people. They say what they want to say. They throw something out into the ether. They bounce. They're appreciative of the thanks that they get. And that's it. They don't really engage in the negativity. They don't really engage with drama. They tend to keep themselves fairly neutral in a lot of situations, not out of need or necessity, but because they know that that's ultimately what's required. And both of them, I think you can draw parallels in terms of how seriously they were taken at first versus how seriously they're taken now, with the respect that they've accrued, with the work rate that they've exhibited, the creativity that they've given the scene, and just generally positive. I don't know many people who have a bad word to say about Shuffle T. In fact, no, I'll go further. I don't know anyone that has a bad word to say about Shuffle T, because he's just such a relentlessly nice man and a relentlessly fucking talented dude. And the same can be applied to Gas Buff. So TMR. Tell you what, I'm going to come back. So all step in the ring for one round. Who wins? Okay, he wants to throw it in there. So Soul, Shotty, Tony D, and Tenshu all step in a ring for 1 round and 1 round only. Who wins? Is it in that order? That would be my first question. I'm gonna really pick at this, because if I'm gonna give you an answer, I will give you an answer, but I'm gonna make sure I've got all the variables now down. So it's Soul first, then Shotty, then Tony D, then Tenshu. Is that what you're saying? Or are you going to give me the order that they're in? Because the order, dude, in Battle Rap, who goes first matters. All against all, it's up and down the country. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's a case of they tore that? Okay. They get 1 round to do them all in. Okay. In a Battle Rap setting, dude, I think it's hard to always look past Shotty Horror, because he just has the scene in the palm of his hand. I can't lie though and say that, oh man, Soul and Tony D are 2 of my favorite men, period, because they're just wise dudes and they just know stuff. They're just smart, clever. Really hurt me to have to fucking pick between the 2 of them. That's a tricky one. I think Shotty in a Battle Rap context, if it's in front of a crowd, in any situation, walks out winner in almost every situation, because he's Shotty Horror. He's got that aura about him. Yeah, me too. 33 steps. God, I wish Soul was active. One of our best. In his mind, he has very little to prove. He still loves writing, and he loves the spoken word, and he loves battle rap as a concept and as an art. But he's like a retired samurai master samurai sword maker, swordsmith, right? He is so far ahead of his contemporaries in terms of his mastery of his craft that he sees he doesn't see competition. Like, you present to him a plethora of talent and he goes, there is no competition here, and simply retreats back into his fucking fortress of solitude, because he is so at peace with what he's accomplished and what he can do. He knows what he can do. He hasn't said he's done, but yeah, man, you'd have to pitch something to Soul that was really interesting and creative to him. I think the same is the case with Tony D to a certain extent. With Shotty Horror, that's a completely different story. If it was more, which part of the country has the best battle? I see. Interesting. That would be, I tell you what, Gleam, that is a fantastic question for Cammy. I think Cammy, or even Battle Rap Resume, both of those guys would absolutely relish that as a concept for a video, or maybe even a series, like Battle Rap Regions, or historically, who has produced the greatest battle rappers, whatever. I'm biased because I'm closer to London, so I would argue probably London, because it is more intrinsic to the roots of battle rap to a large degree. But it's impossible to look over what a force Manchester has become in battle rap since, and has arguably produced its best in Shotty Horror. Interesting debate though. That's one, Gleam. If you haven't already put that on Twitter, that's one to chuck on Twitter and let people hash it out, man. It's a good question. I like it. In terms of who I pick out of those 4, though, who walks away in a battle sense, I think Shotihara walks out the winner, but in terms of who I think would write the best and perform the most mind-bendingly amazing battle rap, it's Soul. Soul is the most talented lyricist in battle rap because he's such a fucking scientist with it. He's such a craftsman with it. Tony D's not far behind, but what I would say that Tony D lacks with Soul in terms of his mind-bending fucking lyricism is that Tony D is a fucking showman, man. He watching him perform against Bizzo was one of those times where you can see all of the pieces of his craft put together, and you can see what a fucking master he is of cadence and energy and crowd control and setting himself up to kill lines down the road, things like that. It's a thing to watch. But I've only ever seen Shotty perform live once, and it was against Shuffle T, and I thought Shuffle T won that battle. So maybe I'm a little bit biased. Maybe if I'd have seen Shotty Horror live back in the day, I'd have a slightly different opinion because I know he invoked a lot of very hostile, but a lot of fervent reaction from fans. So who knows? But it's a great question, Gleam. That's a good question. First good question that I've asked all day, and it was your question. Gulag. Let's go back to yours. Thought everyone was a big fan of me battle rap. So, I think more often than not, people are cool. There's always going to be ongoing things, little things. Like, I've got ongoing things. Like, I'm still not particularly happy when I see fucking Trubs pipe up on the timeline, because I think he's a bit of a fucking toolbox. But, everyone, to a man, opines that from a promotional perspective, he has done as good a job as anyone has in the years since Don't Flop's collapse, if you want to call it that, but certainly their downturn, at effectively booking a new promotion, because the Plug series is Premier Battle's foray into the London scene, and it kind of has become a focal point of Premier Battle's calendar to a large degree. So what people say to each other on the timeline, one thing. How you can look at someone's body of work and appreciate the scale of it is slightly different. So from that perspective, I would say that in my case, there's tiny little things, but do they consume you? I don't think UK Battle Rap has anything like that going on at the moment, really, TMR. People can tell me, I don't think there's any, like, fucking blood feuds going on right now. I don't think. Let me think. Not really. I think most people, if they go to an event these days, you know, it's fine. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's one big happy family, though. That's probably a misnomer if you want to put it that way. I wouldn't categorize it as one big happy family. We should start some rumor up just because. What you guys want to do in your spare time, again, I'm trying to focus on the positivity now. Even though, again, I use Trubs as the example that, and I'm sure I'm not on his fucking birthday card list either, by the way. But this is the thing. I am trying my best to try and see things from a slightly different perspective in terms of, right, but what's the good? What's the positive? Is there more positive than negative? And in Trubs' case, I would argue that there's certain things that he said and done that I take personal issue with, and I'd be fucking remiss if I didn't mention that when I got the chance on my fucking platform. However, what other people are quite quick to point out to me is the fact that that is just my personal perspective, and that from a professional perspective, through the prism of battle rap promotion, it's hard to argue that through Short Circuit, through the Plug series, I think the original concept was Premier Battle South. I think there was something like that originally, but it's kind of skewed and morphed into Short Circuit and Plug rather than it being its own division. He's built two cards that reliably people want to see. Because I will give Trubs credit, because what he has done is he has crystallized two ideas into events and made it very easy to communicate that to people. So Trubs identified that one of the things that battle rap sorely lacks sometimes is the ability for newcomers to garner any traction and attention. Hence the short circuit. It's an opportunity for newcomers to kind of go at each other, separate the wheat from the chaff. Then they start appearing on other cards like Undisclosed or trying to think of other Premier Battles title events. Drawing a blank at the moment, or even the plug, because they have sometimes they have a pre-party or a pre-plug event the day before. He has identified that you need to ingratiate them with your audience on a regular basis by being consistent and by being clear about what that card is. And so has built, in my mind, a place where short circuit, you know what you're getting. And it's broadly the same with the plug. The plug is a premiere event, if you'll forgive the pun. And Trubs identified that what you need in a premiere event is you need to showcase the very best from a narrative perspective. It's why I think the plug series has been able to pivot when they've had setbacks in the past, because it wasn't a case that the headliner was the sort of the theme of the event. It was a case that the headliner would fall out, or a battle here or there would fall out, but the theme of the event was still very much, this is a showcase of sorts. This is a I won't say quite WrestleMania, but I would certainly say something to the effect of like a Starrcade. Like, this is something we're building to throughout the whole year. Maybe not as a crescendo for the whole year, because you never know what's going to steal the fucking you never know what's going to steal the attention and the traction for the year, but you certainly build to it to say to people, you need to pay attention to the plug series when we start announcing it, when we start showcasing what battles are going to be on it. And to that degree, he's been very successful. And so you have to look at it through the prism of, okay, are other battle rap leagues looking at that and learning from that? Are Prem applying that to their own events when it comes to the northern stuff, like Undisclosed, where Stro has gone in a similar direction with regards to his booking, because he seems to be very much in the prism of booking dream matches. He looks at his card and tries to think from a fan's perspective, like, if I could fantasy book this, who could I book? And I would argue that I think it was Undisclosed 10 or 11, I forget. I remember looking at that card and broadly thinking, man, he's really gone in on trying to book a bunch of dream matches, and fair play to him. I think what Prem is missing at the moment to really take it to the next level is that next generational talent to come through and be Prems, if that makes sense. I don't really know who could fit that bill at the moment, though, because I know that Don't Flop built their success largely off the back of names like Shotty Horror and Luna C, who had no affiliation or association with other leagues. But that's only because, really, back in the day, Don't Flop was the be-all, end-all. Prem has built its reputation and success off the back of consistency and quality, but at the moment, I think still lacks that resonance with the casual fan. I think. That's just my opinion. And they're still waiting on that one person to come in and kind of define this generation or this era of battle rap. Probably someone young, probably an upstart, probably someone doing stuff that a lot of people are shaking their heads at and thinking, oh gosh, that's not the way it's done. And just generally kind of upsetting the apple cart. And I think the thing with that, and again, this is just me, I don't know if that's something that the promotion is going to have a hand in. I think that's going to happen organically, or it won't. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe someone can correct me if they feel it's going to be different. I don't know if... I just don't know if the promotion is going to have a hand in that. I feel like the promotion can only do so much, and I feel like the promotion has its own mind made about who it's going to push or who it's going to book and why. I'm not sure the fans are getting a clear idea of who they should be caring about coming up. Again, it's difficult to say. It really is. I do have every sympathy for the promotions, because they are looking for that next breakout star. You don't turn that away if it's coming your way. Yeah, it's difficult. It kind of ties into what TMI was saying. Like, what can we do as media? Maybe we should be showcasing them more. Maybe we should be looking for them more. I don't know. It's tricky. Or maybe, as I think everyone is kind of alluding to, battle rap is its niche now. It has its place. It's very defined parameters. It's very defined fan base, limited as it may be. And that's where it will remain, because the competition to evolve and change is so stark and the room for error is so thin, and the disposition of some of the battlers is such that it's kind of the wrong way round. They take the social media too seriously, and they take the events themselves not seriously enough. Some of them, maybe not all of them, but certainly some of them, where it's like, I think your presentation is overtaking what you're actually presenting to us on the day. And maybe you need to think about that a little bit, because it's not your social media timeline we're going to be talking about in a year. It's going to be the battle you did. It's going to be the lines that you said. It's going to be the performance you put in, because it's also what we're all going to point to in a year's time when we're looking at who should be the guy or gal who can make the next step, who can break through the ceiling of, Gleam, got to shoot my... What? Gleam, thank you for telling, but don't tell people you're leaving, because it makes everyone go like, oh, well, if he's going, I'm going. Like, you're killing me here. Thank you for joining us, Gleam. I appreciate it. I'm going to be wrapping in a second away. I'm fucking rambling now at this point. Does anyone else have any questions? Anyone else curious about anything? Have I rambled enough? Have I given my haters enough ammunition for a month? Because I don't plan on doing another live stream for a while. So, use your time wisely. I appreciate the questions so far, by the way. It's not like I'm... It's not like I'm trying to get away from answering questions. Soul is like one of the best writers in all of battle rap. He sure is. He sure is. I'm inclined to agree with you, Hadashrooms. But yes, if there are no more questions, and if I have ingratiated myself once again with the battle rap community to an extent that only I am capable of doing, I think I'll bounce. Unless anyone else has got any questions, which you can get in the next 30 to 60 seconds while I'm doing my wrap up. So I think we kind of covered everything I wanted to cover. Best of luck to everyone at the weekend for Don't Flop and for Premier Battles. I will do my best to try and be at the No Loose Chat protocol event. It'd be nice to go and do a protocol event, because again, be nice to see a lot of the No Loose Chat guys now that I've had a conversation with a lot of them. Never met them in person. Paris in particular, because I need to say thank you for her appearing on the podcast. In the meantime, though, so interviews are coming, so stay tuned for those when they drop. Again, not planning on doing another live stream anytime soon, so thank you for joining me on this occasion. It was fun. It was nice to see you. I hope it was nice for you to see me. If it wasn't, I apologize for taking up your evening. Just coming back to the main crux of this. Enjoy battle rap. It's meant to be fun. Not meant to be taken too seriously during the social media days, but meant to be taken seriously on the day at the event. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Share it. Revel in it. Make sure it's making you happy. If it's not, put it down. Go do something else. To the battle rappers of the world who are busting their asses trying to make a way in things, keep going. I'm going to be paying attention, and I appreciate everything that you're doing to try and build your name, build your game, ingratiate yourself. But don't stop. Keep grinding. Keep working. Know that I appreciate it. Love everything that everyone does on the events. To any of the promoters that are fucking sick and tired of me still criticizing them for one reason or another, hey, listen, man, I'm trying to help. I feel like I've given my fair share of props on this one to Don't Flop and to Premier. As much as I've been critical, I have tried to be complimentary as well. So again, I didn't shout. I didn't swear too much on this episode. I don't think I went after anyone in this one. Even though I mentioned Trubs, I'd like to think I was quite kind in terms of my assessment of his work as a promoter since. So if I have any blowback from this, yeah, fair enough. You're not going to hear from me for a month anyway, so it doesn't matter. So anyways, this was fun. Thank you for joining me. My name's been Lorne Risley, host of the Halcyon Show. like, share, and subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, it's not the end of the world. I still appreciate you joining me. It's very nice to see you. Stay tuned. More interviews are coming. I'll think about maybe doing a live stream at some stage in the future. We'll see. Let me just do a quick roll call of everyone that joined me this evening, because I like to say thank you for people dropping in. So, Mukesh, thank you for joining me. Hylas, thank you for joining me. I hope the kids are settled. Hada Shrooms, good to see you as always, my friend. TMR, go and subscribe to TMR, by the way. He's putting in the fucking effort and the work. He deserves your support. Gleam, thank you for asking the best question of the chat. Sorry, everybody, but it really was a great question. 33 steps. Yeah, me too. I wish I was active, but thank you for joining us. And if you didn't leave a comment and you just dived in for a few minutes, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, as always. Do take very good care of yourselves. Don't know when I'll see you next, but I'll be kicking around. So I hope you are as well as you can be, and I hope your 2025 has begun as it means to go on in a prosperous, happy, and ultimately self-fulfilling way. And yeah, that'll about do it. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next edition of the Halcyon Show.